Breaking news coming out this morning. Deep blue state of Oregon is on track to elect a Republican governor, claims a shock new poll that came out this morning that puts the GOP candidate well ahead of the Democrat incumbent. Folks, Oregon has not been a red state or had a red Republican governor since the 1980s. This would be the first time in 40-something years. Let's get some more information. This is the poll coming out this morning. Here it is. Christine Drazan on the left, beautiful woman. She's right now polling at 48% Republican Christine Drazan. Tina Kotek, who is just about as radically progressive far left. I mean, she is a communist. I'll just come out and say it. This woman is a communist. Tina Kotek is polling at 44%, and she has been the incumbent for the last 4 years or so. She's running again. She wants to continue on being the governor. This state of Oregon has gone to hell under her leadership. Let's read through the full report here. Christine Drazan holds a 4-point lead over incumbent Tina Kotek, according to the latest Public Opinion Strategies poll of Oregon voters. A statewide survey conducted by Public Opinion Strategies from June 22nd to June 24th, 2026, about 2 weeks ago, among 600 registered voters in Oregon, reveals that Republican State Senator Christine Drazan leads Democrat governor incumbent Tina Kotek 48 to 44%. The poll measured support if the election were held today. Drazan's 48% places her in a very strong position. There she is. Far left incumbent Tina Kotek approval rating hits all-time low. Oh my goodness. Governor Tina Kotek's job approval rating stands at just 38%. She's been governor for 4 years, with 57% of Oregonians disapproving of her leadership. Not good for her. Good for us. Good for the Republicans. Nearly 59% of Oregonian voters believe the state is headed in the wrong direction under her leadership, while 38% say stay on course, Tina Kotek. Fully 66% of voters indicate that a change is necessary immediately. Among those seeking change, Drazan leads Kotek 65% to 25%. Wow. What are the strategic implications here? This poll marks a major development in a state, the state of Oregon, that has not elected a Republican governor since Vic Atiyeh in 1982. In 2022, Kotek defeated Drazan, same candidates, 47% to 43.5%. Drazan's lead in this election now reflects voter frustration with challenges under the far-left administration, including costs of living, housing, homelessness, education, and the economy. Outside Portland, Drazan leads substantially in key regions. The race is competitive even in the Portland media market. These findings position Oregon's gubernatorial contest as a potential breakthrough for Republican leadership after 4 decades of Democrat control. And we're going to talk about here in a moment exactly what has happened in the last 4 decades to the once great state of Oregon. Spoiler, not good. As Republican nominee and state senator from District 26, Christine Drazan builds on her competitive 2022 performance. The poll shows expanded appeal among voters seeking results on affordability, safety, and effective government. This positions her to capitalize on the incumbents, Tina Kotek's, very low standings and the clear mandate for new leadership in Oregon. Now, I want to tell you something here, okay, because I know that somebody's going to say it. I am personally significantly further to the right than Christine Drazan, okay? I would call Christine Drazan, I don't know, a very moderate Republican. Me, I'm a little bit further to the right, okay? You might call me far right. I don't know, whatever you want to call me. Here's the deal, okay? In a state like Oregon, nobody, perhaps a lot of us, we're not, at least not now, not soon, we're not going to have our perfect, super far to the right, hard on everything Republican. It's not going to happen in a state like Oregon. Maybe someday, maybe not yet, though. And so I think what we need to do is move this state. This is my home state, by the way. We need to move the state in the right direction. Oregon State has had, 40-some years of far-left radically progressive leadership. let's at least start moving the state in the right direction, even if Drazen isn't perfect in every single way. Do you agree? That's my sentiment. Now, I want to tell you something here, okay? Why don't we go ahead and talk about why all of this is happening? Why is this deep blue state perhaps swinging back to the right, going red? Well, after decades, after 4 decades, 40 some years of radically progressive, far left Democrat communist leadership in Oregon, now this really once great state currently has the 5th highest crime rate in the nation. Oregon is the single lowest ranking state in the nation for elementary school educational attainment. It's the lowest ranking state in the nation for elementary school educational attainment. Guys, you go back a couple decades, Oregon was number 1 in the nation. Now, this is so curious because Oregon is actually in the top 20 for annual spending per student per year. Top 20 for annual spending per student per year, still the lowest ranking educational attainment state in the nation. How do you make sense of that? Oregon is now also in the top 5 most unaffordable states in the country. Housing, food prices, gas, energy, all of it. Top 5 most unaffordable in the entire nation. Oregon also now has the most unsheltered homeless people per capita of any state in this country. Homeless people are literally everywhere. Have you ever been to Oregon? It's not just Portland. Everywhere. Number 1 most homeless people per capita of any state in the country. It's insane. And on top of all of that, Oregon also has the single highest individual income tax burden in the country, with some of the nation's lowest rates of job growth simultaneously. Folks, the once great state of Oregon, and some of you that are a little bit older, you know it really was once a very great state. This state currently is a complete and total train wreck. Why? Because of 40 years of uninterrupted far left, radically progressive Democrat communist leadership. I don't even want to call it that. Now, on top of all of that, over the last 16 months, the far left Oregonian progressives, the communists, they have been getting absolutely battered now that Trump is back in the White House. Good. What do I mean by that? Well, first off, in May of 2026, Oregon settled a lawsuit with Judicial Watch, and now the state of Oregon is required to review and remove up to 800,000 ineligible or inactive voters from their state voter rolls, with ongoing compliance and court oversight mandated for the next 5 years. And of course, as you all know, bloated, inaccurate voter rolls are perhaps the Democrats' number 1 favorite method of doing what? Of rigging elections. So that's a crippling loss for the Democrats. The DOJ also recently sent, just a couple days ago, in fact, sent a formal letter to Oregon Secretary of State, who is, you guessed it, a Democrat, warning election officials in the state of Oregon of potential federal criminal liability for knowingly allowing non-citizens to remain on the voter rolls or vote in federal elections. So anyone in Oregon, or really any other state at this point, that turns a blind eye to this illegal alien voting, voter fraud, whatever, unkempt, sloppy voter rolls, federal criminal liability. Be careful. What's more, Oregon also recently lost access to approximately $2.5 billion in federal funding per year that they had been spending on, I kid you not, healthcare and food assistance for illegal aliens. The Trump administration said, you're not getting the money anymore. And so what do we see now? Now that the Trump administration has absolutely gutted Oregon State Democrats' federally funded illegal alien industrial complex, and many of their election rigging mechanisms have been shut down as well, now it seems like Oregon just might end up going red, flipping red. Very curious. Hey, I'll tell you what. If you ask me, this is exactly what it looks like to put America first.